I've been thinking a lot lately about what this country has become. Not in an abstract, political pundit way, but in the way you do when you're driving home from work, looking out the window at the town you grew up in, and you realize you barely recognize it anymore. This is that British guy, and this is just my honest take on where we are. Let me start with something simple. I remember what this country felt like when I was younger. It wasn't perfect. No country ever is. But there was a sense of stability, of shared identity, of knowing what it meant to be British. You belonged to something, your community meant something, your vote meant something. That's gone now, and I don't think it drifted away by accident. We've spent 30 years being told that the only thing that matters is the market, that borders are old-fashioned, that national identity is somehow backward, that if you question mass immigration, you're a bigot, that if you want your country to have control over its own laws, its own borders, its own future, you're an extremist. And what has that got us? A country where you can't afford to buy a house, where the NHS is on its knees, where the cost of living is crushing families, where your kids are being taught things in school that you fundamentally disagree with, and you have no say in it, where the streets of our cities feel less and less like Britain and more like a holding zone for a global experiment that nobody voted for. I look at the political class and I see the same faces, the same parties, the same empty promises, election after election. Labour, Conservatives, Liberal Democrats, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. They all believe in the same failed consensus. Open borders, endless foreign wars, the destruction of our industrial base, the replacement of community with consumerism. They bicker about the margins, but the direction of travel never changes. And that's the thing that gets me. It's not that they're incompetent, although many of them are, it's that they genuinely believe in this project. They believe Britain should be a borderless, multicultural market rather than a nation. They believe patriotism is dangerous. They believe the only thing that matters is GDP growth, even if it means replacing your own people with cheap labor from abroad. I can't vote for that. I won't vote for that. Not anymore. So where does that leave someone like me? Well, there are really only two parties I can see that even acknowledge the problem exists: Reform UK and Advance Britain. I'm not going to pretend either of them is perfect. No party ever is. But they're the only ones talking about the things that actually matter: sovereignty, borders, national identity, putting British workers first, stopping the endless wars that drain our treasury and achieve nothing, taking on the corporate capture of our politics, rebuilding a sense of national purpose that isn't just about shopping. I haven't decided which one I'll vote for yet. I'm watching both of them closely. What I do know is that I will never again vote for a party that believes the answer to every problem is more immigration, more globalism, more of the same failed consensus that has brought us to the brink of national collapse. The country I want to leave for my children is one where they can afford a home, where they can walk down the street and feel like they belong, where their nationality means something, where the people in charge actually answer to them, not to international corporations or foreign lobbyists. That's not extremism, that's common sense. That's what every generation before us took for granted. And if the only parties offering that are Reform and Advance Britain, then that's where my vote goes. One or the other. I'll make my mind up when the time comes. But the days of holding my nose and voting for the least bad option from the establishment are over. This country is worth fighting for, and I intend to do my part. Thanks for listening.